to cultivate subtle qualities. These are the elements that we work with sincerely, conscientiously, and thus we move forward. And so he describes these qualities, dharmagnaha. Well, Sri Rama knew the dharma tattvam. He was the knower of the rahasyam, the secrets of dharma, the secret of the moral opposite, of the secrets of the law of right and wrong, how real it is, how true it is, or how do we live with right and wrong, or do we live a life to cross the right and wrong? Because right and wrong are anyway judgments of the mind. And therefore, crossing that, going beyond that, living dharma in the post-conventional model as Sri Rama shows us. And for that, I need to know that little secret, that little trick. 90% of humanity lives in conventional dharma. Whole human society is committed to law. These criminal laws and civil laws and justice is all about that balance, you know. The balance of justice. But we are not that 90%. We consider ourselves as something, seeking something more than what normal achievements are in life. And therefore, what's going to be that final twist is when I understand the approach of Sri Rama in the post-conventional dharma. We will be talking more and more about that. So, dharmagnaha satya sandhaha satyamashritya vivaharati. So, whenever you do any transaction in the world, what did Rama do, Sri Rama do? He was not conniving. He was not crooked. He was not manipulative. He was not political in his approach. He was not playing a chess game, you know, or always outsmart the other. He was committed to simple satyam, truth. And therefore, always taking refuge in truth, he did his transactions. That is the approach in a spiritual life. Satya sandaha and prajanam cha hite rataha. Always engaged in looking at, always intending to benefit the people. What is it I can do to help? What is it I can do to benefit others? And this approach of Sri Rama is really what touches us. Always caring for the other. And he was yashasvi. Yashasvi means what? Well, illustrious in nature and jnana sampannaha, full of wisdom. Shuchihi. Shuchihi means pure. Pure in all his dealings, pure. So we talk about purity in this culture in physical terms and mental terms also. So prata snanam, you know, so snanam, bathing is the first level of purity. And then pranayama is a purity in the breathing. Like this, there are different levels of purity. And raga dvesha hanena, so removing raga dveshas, likes and dislikes, is all part of mental purification. And so, being pure in one's dealing, let the character be free from judgment.
Prajapati samashriman bhatani pumis shudanaha rakshita jivalokasya dharmasya parirakshita.
So here, some more qualities. We have this session and next session on these qualities, okay? After that, the story will begin from Balakanda. And so qualities are important because we have to catch him violating. Whether he's going to violate or not, we have to be very, very alert, and therefore the qualities are listed. Prajapati Samaha. So Manushatvepi, even though he was human, he behaved like a king of creation. He was like Prajapati, like the creator, So some people have that in them. They are Raja. You ask him, where are you working? In some government office, some small post. But he moves like a big Maharaja, So that is the stature of this person. Like that Sri Rama was really inner and outer. He was like Prajapati, like the Lord of the universe. Prajapati Samaha. And Shriman, he was so affluent. Because royal family, he had all prosperities with him. Dhata, and he was the supporter of the creation. So dharma vyavasthayaha, so sarvada paripalaka. Dhata means always protected dharma vyavastha, always kept dharma in his view. Ripu nishudanaha. Well, when you keep dharma in view, with the help of dharma you are protecting people, what will happen? Those who are not in line with dharma, you will destroy them, you will negate them. And therefore, Ripu Nishudanaha. Ripu is Shatru, enemy. He was the one who eliminated anyone who were inimical to dharma. Sri Rama eliminated them. Not only that, Rakshita Jiva Lokasya, all life forms were protected. There are so many beautiful things about Sri Rama and Sita Devi. Those life in the forest, how because Sita Devi was a daughter of earth, and therefore she was so connected to the earth, protecting every life form, caring for all life forms, not just human life form. Stomach, a carcass of different animals, when you love this animal so much. And so we compartmentalize our own affections for life forms. Everything is compartmentalized. We need to integrate. We need to integrate different things we do into one rhythm of love, acceptance, unconditionality, and tenderness to all life. And therefore here he says, Rakshita Jiva Lokasya means Prani Lokasya, all pranai, all life forms, one who protects. Nyaha
Veda Vedanga Tattvajnaha
Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha.
Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha.
And so Rakshita swasya dharmasya swajanasya cha rakshita Veda Vedanga Tattvajnaha Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha.
Rakshita swasya dharmasya swajanasya cha rakshita Veda Vedanga Tattvajnaha Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha.
So very straightforward here. Swasya dharmasya. When you try to protect dharma, first thing is I have to recognize my own roles and responsibilities. You cannot take care of dharma in general, take care of the rights of people unless you are given to duty yourself. My duty is the other person's right. A husband's duty is a wife's right. Wife's duty is husband's right. Don't say, no, husband says, I want my right. Then she also says, I want my right. two rights means what will happen? There will be only fight. Right brings fight. You see, in the society which is committed to duty, if a husband does his duty, wife gets her right. If the employee does his duty, the employer gets his right. When the employer does his duty, the employee gets his right. When the Raja does his duty, the Praja gets the right. When Praja does its duty, the Raja gets his right. And therefore, should we not focus on right? Anyway, it is the same, Ammaji. Outcome is the same. Outcome is not the same. It is about where you focus. You focus on right, you create a divide. You focus on duty and you find harmony in society, in family, in relationships. And therefore, swasya dharmasya rakshita. First protect our own duty. What is my duty? To find peace, protect my own duty, understand my own duty. And then what? Then swajanasya cha rakshita. So then you will recognize, when you begin to take care of your responsibilities for yourself and your family, then that same rhythm extends out to your own people, your own society, your own community, your own land, your own country, your own earth. You keep on expanding out always for your own duty. The recipient of your duty may be broader and broader, bigger and bigger, but you remain the same person committed to duties. And so there's a lot of emphasis here on Swadharma in this paragraph, tremendous emphasis on Swadharma. And then Veda Vedanga Tattvajnaha. He was a knower of Veda. Oh, how can he not be knower of Veda? Well, as in the human incarnation, he is a divinity incarnate, and therefore he knew Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharva Veda and its support disciplines of knowledge. We look upon 6 Vedangas, written tradition, it's a oral tradition. It's Karna Parampara, sharp ears, and what you hear you articulate. It is about listening and imbibing, and so the sounds make all the difference. What sound, what utterance means what. That precision is, that discipline of knowledge is called Shiksha. One is Shiksha, phonetics, the science of phonetics. How the human, unique is a human life. No life on this planet, no life on this planet carries the sophistication of sounds, the tremendous sounds and the pitch and the tones that a human voice apparatus can generate. You agree with me? Any life form you take, no life form can come anywhere near us in generating the amazing variety, the range, the tone, the pitch. It is just, human voice apparatus is a phenomenon in itself. The greatest gift we have is this unique human voice apparatus. And in that, what are the sounds we can produce? That is, it is presented in this tradition, in a science called phonetics, Shiksha. Followed by that comes Vyakaranam, or understanding the meaning of these sounds. Artha Shastra. Shiksha is Shabda Shastra, sound, and Vyakaranam is Artha Shastra, or the meaning of these sounds. And so Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas. Chandas is the science of meter, because these are recitations, and so there's a method to recite. The sounds are heavy, they are light, they are to be placed in certain rhythm to draw certain meanings. It's another science called Chandas, science of the metrical system. Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Niruktam is the original dictionary of Veda. Yaskas, it is the first dictionary of humanity, do you know? The first dictionary of humanity called Niruktam, Yaskas Niruktam. Shiksha, Niruktam, Jyotisham, the science of astrology and astronomy. The only astrology we know is when you want to get married and can't find a match and then you go to an astrologer. That is the only astrology we think astrology is meant for, you know. It is not like that. It is way, way more than that. You cannot fathom. It's about understanding the astronomical, the positions of stars. It's about knowing what time is conducive for certain karmas. When I do an action, if it is done at a certain time and a certain place, how it can bring certain fruition. At some other time and place, it will not be the same, given your astrological positions, and so on. And therefore, the whole Vedic karmic, karma kanda portion of the Veda is connected heavily with the science of astrology and astronomy, and therefore it is a very important Vedanga. And finally, Kalpam. Kalpam is, when you study the Veda, this sixth discipline of knowledge there's a science there on how to use the tools for the rituals. How much bricks should be placed, what position it should be placed, what shape it should be placed, what ahutis need to be put, what ladle and so on so forth, what should be the anushtanam of the person doing. There is, to make something successful, to make an intention successful, one needs to take care of these esoteric elements in one's rituals. And when you take care of what is defined, then the success is inevitable. That is the promise of the Karma Kanda portion of the Veda. And Sri Rama was adept, knowledgeable in Veda and the 6 Vedangas, the 4 Vedas and the 6 Vedangas. Veda, Vedanga, Tattvajnaha. And then his specialty, what was his specialty? Dhanur Vedecha Nishtitaha. He was a master of the science of archery, Dhanur Veda, science of archery. And then this portion, let us see further, we'll conclude here. Sarvashastrartha tadvajnaha.
Sarvashastrartha tadvajnaha.
Smritiman pratibhanavan.
Smritiman pratibhanavan.
Sarvalokapriya sadhuhu.
Sarvalokapriya sadhuhu.
Adhinatma vichakshanaha.
Adhinatma vichakshanaha.
Sarvashastrartha tattvajnaha. Smritiman pratibhanavan. Sarvalokapriya sadhuhu. Adhinatma vichakshanaha.
Sarvashastrartha tattvajnaha. Smritiman pratibhanavan. Sarvalokapriya sadhuhu. adinatma vichakshanah.
Sarva Shastrartha Tattvajnaha, one who knew the real meaning of all the scriptures. Remembering, math used to be always calculated in the head, never on the calculator in our school systems. Now without the calculator, we can't move anything, you know. So, Smritiman Pratibhanavan. So he had alaukika buddhi sampanna, very intuitive in his decision making. And then sarva loka priyaha. He was vichakshanaha. So to do, not to do, what is to be done, not to be done, that viveka shakti being there, he always made very wise decisions, and therefore he was popular among the people. Sarva loka priyaha, popular among the people, and he was sadhu. Sadhu means, don't think he was wearing orange robes, no. Sadhu means pious, a very pious soul, tender and pious, and adinatma. This is very important, adinatma. We have this unfortunate quality of dinatvam. Dina means always begging, you know. Dina buddhi means poverty. A heart of poverty is called dinatma. What poverty? No, Ammaji, I don't have any poverty. You don't have any poverty, but you're always wanting, aren't you? So always wanting, that is called poverty. So sahi bhavati daridraha. He alone is poor, whose heart is full of desires, unfulfilled desires. Yasya trishna vishala. So that person we call poor, and he is dina. Dina means always asking. Which is the time you went to a temple or stood in front of your altar and did not ask Bhagavan something? Today, you know, my son is going for final exams. Today at least he should pass. If nothing else, at least clear him. Today I am going for a job interview. Tomorrow my sister-in-law is, she is going to be delivering. Please take care of this one, that one. Every day there is a asking. That is called dinatma. Without asking have I lived a day of my life, you know. So that adinatma.